Hey everybody, how's it going? Let me just switch my camera to the better one because I can. There we go, love it. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Office Hours Live. Name is Brad Hussey from freelancingfreedom.com. Always excited to have you here. Pleasure to have you here. Excited to see some familiar faces and some new faces in the live chat. Hey Kenny, how's it going? James is here, motivated and ready to go, focused. Now is the time. Alea, as always, pleasure to have you here. Thank you for helping. AMD. Don't know what your name is, but how's it going? Good to see you here. Mike writing. Good to see you here. Monique. Awesome. Good. Say hi, everybody. Whoever's here, say hi. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Make sure that our video and audio is good to go, and we'll just jump right in. This is great. I'm excited about this. For those of you who are new to Office Hours Live every single week on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, 6 Eastern, unless otherwise scheduled and stated, I go live right here on my YouTube channel to answer questions about freelancing, consulting, starting a business, growing your business, scaling your business, and all the nitty-gritty that is involved with that whole business. I'm very passionate about helping people discover their potential and their purpose and to create a business that they love using the skills that they have. And it's just something I love doing. I'm always excited to get messages from you guys telling me that you've leveled up, you've changed your life in some way, you've started a business, you've booked a client. I'm equally excited when I get a message of someone who says, I saw your video and it inspired me to start my business, as I am when someone says, I quit my job and now I make 6 figures in a year. I just love getting these messages, and these are messages that just get me fired up to get to work and to serve you guys. So that's what I'm here to do today, is to serve you and to teach you a little bit about pricing. As you probably got, if you got an email from me inviting you to the office hours, I was mentioning in pricing how the theme is about pricing. It's a very hot and common topic amongst freelancers and consultants. Regardless of your stage, a lot of beginners have no idea about pricing. Thumbs up or high fives, plus ones in the live chat if you're in that area. No idea about pricing. No shame in that. And experienced freelancers, consultants, and business owners alike, I still struggle with pricing. I mean, I'm launching a course right now, and I'm still like, how did I get to this price? And I'll go and make sure that all the math is right. And there's so many factors. It's easy to forget, or not know, be in the dark, to compare yourself and your price to others, to worry if you're charging too much, too little. It's hard. It's a difficult topic. So thankfully, it actually can be distilled down into a bit of a science. And that's what today's about. I'm going to show you that science so that you know where your price comes from and how to confidently charge what you're charging. And you're probably going to find out really quickly here that what you are charging, you're undercharging. Now we're going to get into that. I just want to say hi to the folks here. Looks like, okay, Monique says loud and clear, +1. We're good. Mary Jo, hola, ¿cómo estás? Good to see you here. Rebecca, hi everyone. Looks like, yeah, totally. We got some beginners for sure. Here, I'm going to start with the question. Here. What do you charge in your business? What do you charge? Is it an hourly rate? Is it something else? Is it a monthly fee? What is it? What do you charge? What's your current, I charge my clients X. So let's just pretend you and I, forget everyone else is here. It's just you and me. Okay. Got it. Okay. Perfect. Very, very awkward, intimate view here. Just tell me, what's your price? Okay. That got weird fast. Because what we're going to do here is we're going to find out, I want to ask you, now you're sharing that people are going to start sharing their price. How did you decide that number? I want to know, where did that number come from? How did you land on that number? I'm willing to guess that it's, that you landed on that number because of, randomness. You threw a dart on the wall and just said, okay, there's my price. You compared it to somebody else. You said, well, the going rate is, $50 an hour. So I'm charging $50 an hour, I guess. In all honesty, you probably just landed on it randomly. right? And this isn't me judging you or anything. Goodness sake, my pricing strategy when I started out was just goofy, comical. Let's see. Larry says right now it's a bit willy-nilly. I like that. Willy-nilly price. Like it. Alea, I'm in the process of transitioning from hourly to another. Cool. Would love to know more about that. Evan, package pricing. Great. James, by the job, using hours, jobs take times the rate. Okay. Mary Jo, just talked to someone about reselling hosting, totally undercharging. Disa says that question makes me nauseous. Yep. Monique, per project. Okay. Packaging and monthly upkeep says AMD. Evan, between 2 and 4K. I do 200 monthly retainers. Cool. Dale, hourly, $24 an hour content, $40 an hour dev. Mary Jo, I've worked up to $1,800 for a 3-page site. Not finding those who are willing to pay for it as well as any copywriting or SEO on top. $65 an hour. Rafal, yo, how's it going? Kevin, clueless. All over the place. I don't even know. Love it. These are the answers that I really enjoy because it's honest. It's real. Rebecca's is still figuring it out, probably either by package or by hour. Okay. I love this. This is so great. Keep it coming. I would love to see what you guys are charging and we can address these things as well. At any point during this office hours live, you have my attention to answer your questions. Throw the questions up there. Alea, my business manager and assistant, will grab your question, throw it up on my Trello board that I have right here. I don't know if you could see it. No, camera is locked. Whatever. I have it on my screen. And I'll see your question. I'll be able to answer it. Okay? That's what this is about, answering your questions. Whether you're a student or you're not. If I see a student answers a question, I'm going to prioritize them over just the general public, but I'll get to all of them, hopefully. Usually I do. Okay. So yeah, throw your questions at me at any point. Because today I'm actually going to dive into I created a little micro workshop for you. Because the topic of pricing is gigantic. In the new launch course at freelancingfreedom.com/launch, which is open right now, totally shameless plug, we go really deep into pricing. I'm actually, the reason why I'm talking about pricing is because it's hot on my mind. I sent out a message to all the students asking, well, what do you want to know about pricing? Just to make sure that I'm getting everything in there that I need to know, that I need to share, that I need to teach. And I have an amazing pricing module within the course. So it's a huge topic. I'm not going to be able to go as deep as I would like to into all of the aspects of pricing in a 30-minute, free workshop. But I'm going to give you something really great to work with. I don't want to overwhelm you. And then there's obviously some next steps and action steps if you want to go further and go deeper into pricing, and in addition to launching your business in a sustainable and profitable way. So I'm going to be answering your questions. Throw them there. We got them. The Trello board's starting to grow already. And I'm going to be doing a little workshop here for you. Live in real time. This is content directly cherry picked from the launch course. And only maybe 10% of what is in the pricing module. Because I could spend hours on this. In fact, the pricing module will probably be hours of learning. So, plus, I'm going to be demoing a little tool, a calculator I created. It's in its early minimum viable version stage, but I'm going to be fleshing it out as I grow it and tweak it and fine tune it based on you using it. I want you to use it and break it. I'm going to be giving it to you for free. And I'm going to be demoing it today. I'm going to be building it out, and I think I'm going to build it out into something really great. But right now, it's a nice calculator in Google Sheets, and it's going to be you're going to see what goes into determining your price. Okay, so let's see some more. We got some stuff happening here. We got some stuff happening in the chat. Okay. People still telling me about their pricing. No plans, no ideas, just throwing it up on the wall. Mary Jo says, I just heard from another who is getting 10K for simple, not mind-blowing website designs. Yes. Monique, kind of difficult to compete with some people who want to charge pennies to the hour. Ooh, yes. That's another thing. Positioning. AMD, do you charge by feature or is it better by the hour? Okay. Hey, Harold. Papa B here. Yes. Oh, good. And we got closed captioning for Harold. Oh, I love it. Thank you, YouTube. Amen to that. We get to serve Harold and the hard of hearing in real time. Love it. Just happy about that. Okay. Bear Mary Joe. Basically, how do I bop people on the head to realize value? Love it. Is it better to publish price? Okay, good. These are good questions. Ask your questions as we go through. We'll make sure that they go into the Trello board, and I'll answer them as we go through and at the end and all the good stuff and happy times. Here we go. So let me just jump into my screen here, and then we'll jump into a workshop, my little workshop that I put together for y'all. Screen one. Here we go. Boom. Yeah. Who could see my screen? I know you can see my screen. Yes, I know you do. Okay. Jason says, hey, Brad, thanks for the great content / poison. You're very welcome. I'm glad that you chose your poison wisely. What's the best way to handle domain hosting fees? Client setup, do it right for them, charge for them. Ooh, love the question, Jason. We're going to answer that question afterwards. Stick around. Kenny, what should I price by work items or by hourly rate? Love it. Okay, I'm going to address probably a lot of these questions in the workshop here. So keep the questions coming. We'll throw them into the Trello board and I'll address them as we go. And at the end, and here we go. So here's my little workshop, my minimum viable workshop about pricing. All right. Pricing workshop, charge what you're worth as a freelancer and consultant. All right. So let's just dive in. What we're going to do in this little workshop, again, it's not an in-depth workshop all about all the different nooks and crannies and all the details. There's lots of different models, but I'm going to give you 3 of the most common pricing models, how to properly use them, where to use them, and to help you determine which one you should be using if you're ready for that one. And within these 3, like I can throw a whole bunch at you and I'm going to let you know a bit more pricing models. But a lot of people get excited about, okay, there's all these different pricing models. I'm going to choose which one works for me and they get excited about all the choices. But the reality is like, if you don't actually know your base rate, if you don't know what you're worth and the value you're offering and how to determine your price in a mathematical, scientific, formulaic way, then you're just throwing numbers up on the wall. You're just guessing, If someone says, why do you charge that? And then you go, well, I mean, right? So, okay. Here we go. I'm going to give you 3 of the most common pricing models, how to do them properly. I'm going to demo my free calculator for you, which you have access to. I'll give it to you. Stick around. And then we'll talk more. We'll talk more about pricing. All right. Don't worry about it. Okay. Pricing models. Number 1, the hourly rate. Hello. Normal hourly rate. Everybody knows about the hourly rate. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the hourly rate. The hourly rate, as we all know, is when you charge an hourly rate for your services. You work 8 hours, you charge $100 an hour. That's what, $800? It's a plain vanilla normal way for trading your time and your money. Okay. It's a one-to-one kind of transaction. Your client says, I need this. You go, it's going to take me 10 hours. Here's my rate. Boom. Pretty standard service-based pricing model, right? Now, how do we determine that hourly rate? What are the pros and cons? What is the real world application? Let's talk about it, okay? Pros and cons, why it's good. Why is the hourly rate good? Well, it's guaranteed income for the hours that you work. You work 8 hours, you charge for 8 hours. Boom, you're good to go. It's super normal. Nobody's going to be surprised by your pricing model called the hourly rate, right? Your client goes, how much for the project? You go 100 hours and this many hours, this much per hour. They go, okay, cool. I get it. I'm not confused. I'm not skeptical. I'm not wondering where that price came from. I could see your pricing, your line items. I could see, yeah, okay, that makes sense, right? Why else is it good? Because it protects you from scope creep. Chime in, folks. Why do you think pricing hourly is good? Share some of your reasons why you think hourly rate is good. The pros of hourly rates. Protection from scope creep. That's a big one. So you work on a project and you quote them 10 hours. You do your 10 hours and you say, good, the project's done. the client goes, oh, but Mary Jo, I'd like this extra feature. No problem, client. Bob, it's going to be 2 more hours. There you go. Guaranteed income. Of course, the client can choose not to pay, but in launch, we'll help you figure out how to avoid those clients so you get only the good ones. But those are some reasons why it's good. Feel free to share your ideas of why you think hourly rates are good. Okay. Now, let's talk about why it's bad. Okay. You're a commodity. Oopsies. What's a commodity? It's something that can be bought and sold on the cheap. When we talk a lot about the service commodity continuum in the launch course at Freelancing Freedom. And on one end, pure service is like, think a plumber, think an electrician. They provide pure one-to-one service. Now, on the other end is the commodity. Think gold, think, precious metals. Now, in that spectrum, if you are providing a pure one-to-one service, that's on one end of the spectrum. But now where you start to commoditize yourself is when you start turning yourself into something that has no identity, no personality, and it doesn't matter if it's you, Mary Jo, if it's you, Mike, if it's you, James, providing the service. I don't care. What I'm looking at is your $20 an hour, is your $40 an hour. Now I'm going to find somebody else who charges $40 an hour who's better, or someone else who charges $20 an hour. This is the commodity game. You buy cheap so that you can get as much as possible. You don't want to pay high prices for commodity unless you're going to get more from it. So you want to stay out of the commodity zone and go into the more of an actual value zone. And so you're a commodity. We don't want to do that. Okay. You can't scale because your earning potential is limited by the hours in the day. Nobody here is going to work 24 hours in the day. You and I only have 24 hours in the day. That's it. Okay. And we're not working 24 hours. You're working 8 hours. But when you start up your business, one of the reasons why you start up a freelance business and go your own way, cue Fleetwood Mac song, you can go your own way. Okay. Not going to go that way. Not going to go there. So you do that because you don't want to work yourself like crazy. You don't want to work 8 to 10 to 12 hours in the day. You want to work 6 hours. Right? Some days you want to work 4. Other days you're fine working 9 because you got something good going on. But you want that flexibility, right? So, okay, let's say we only got the 8 hours in the day. Are you going to be billing for all 8 of those hours? No. You're going to be doing work that's unbilled. You're going to be doing admin work. You're going to be doing marketing, research, reading, unforeseen things. Lots of stuff you're not going to charge for. Probably 20 to 30% of what you do in the day is unbilled time. Okay, so now you're down to 5 to 6 hours of billable hours in the day. If your rate is $50 an hour, some basic grade 2 math that I have to use my calculator for, don't judge me, is what? $50 an hour, 5 hours. There you go. You got a cap of $250 a day, which is what? $7,500 a month. No, it's nice. Okay, sure. $7,500 a month is great if you're going to be booking consistent 5 billable hours at your $50 an hour rate. But is that it? Is that it? What if you want to make 10,000? Well, okay, now you got to raise your rates. You got to work harder, work more. It's not scalable. Okay. Mary Jo says, yeah, definitely scope creep is why it's bad. Yeah, Bob. Or small projects. Yes. Dale was just about to say scope creep. It's the number one reason for hourly rates. Yep, that's why it's bad. James, need to make minimum take home each week for cost of living. Yeah, hosting plans. Sometimes you need a nap or go watch the Avengers during the day. Yeah, right? So these are reasons why it's bad. Also, here's another final one why it's bad. Raising your rates. Now that you realize like, oh man, I got an earning cap. I quit my job so that I can have more flexibility in my time. So I want to work less hours. But I want to be able to make the same or more as my previous salary. But now I'm capped out. Okay, I need to make more. So what's the first plan of action? Raise my rates by 10, 20%. Now I can make 10, 20% more money. Guess what your client does? Cries like a baby. Some of them cry like a baby. They whine. They go, why are you charging more? Of course, there's strategies to get around this and to actually raise your rates without making them cry like a baby and having them complain or feel like you're cheating them. We talk about it in the launch course. Join at freelancingfreedom.com/launch. All right. I'm going to shameless plug all throughout this. Okay. Half of you are in the course anyway. So Okay. This is the hourly rate. Now let's go. Okay. Let's jump in to a real world application. How do you apply your hourly rate in the real world? Well, your rate depends on a lot of things. A lot of us here told everybody publicly that the way that we decided on hourly rate was by just choosing a number, willy-nilly guessing. I don't know. I just went with a number and I just ran with it. That's what I did. Guess what my first hourly rate was? $35 an hour, I think. Might have been 25. But I don't know why I chose that number. I just chose the number because I was like, I don't know. When I worked at the grocery store, I made $12 an hour. So if I made double that, that'd be amazing. From home, dream job, right? So yeah, we don't know. So it depends on a lot of things though. Like there's a science behind your hourly rate. Experience, okay? How good you are at something, your location, maybe if you're in San Francisco and your cost of living is really high versus like, somewhere in like the country, middle of the country, you got low cost of living, you live in the country life and you got like a nice low cost of living and things are easy breezy. Probably don't need to charge those city rates, right? Charge them country rates. Goals. What's your goals? If you have a modest goal, if you have a high goal, it's going to affect your rate. You're not going to be able to reach your high goals with your high cost of living with your measly hourly rate, right? Competition. A lot of competition in the area. A lot of people charging $40 an hour. If you're swimming in that pool and you're the guy charging $60 an hour, it's going to look weird. You're going to have to answer for that rate. Level of pain, meaning how painful is the problem you're solving. If my finger is sore and I need you to solve it. Okay, this is gonna be a weird metaphor. Stick with me. But it's just sore. I could still use it. And you're like, you know what, Brad, I can help you with that sore finger. Just give me $50. I'll go, no, thanks. I'll go and get like some cream and a Band-Aid. I'll be fine. Now, let's say I dislocated my entire wrist and I need to use the computer. That's a painful problem that needs to be solved, and I'm willing to pay in time, money, and time and money. If you're in the States, you're paying for it out of pocket. If you're in Canada, maybe not so much, depending on where you go. But you'll pay in time or money to solve that problem. So in Canada, you'll pay in time. In the United States, you'll pay in money. Does the metaphor make sense? Okay. In business, if your client's like, I'd like a pretty website, that's not that painful of a problem. But if your client's like, I'm about to go out of business unless I really grow up with my marketing strategy, I need your help. And you go, okay, now we can talk. This is what I need from you. This is what we can expect. And this is what I'd like to get for you. They'll pay for that. That's not you holding them ransom or in a weird position. That's you helping. And that's just business, okay? If you can solve my problem and help make my life better in some way, shape, or form, I'm willing to pay for that in some way. I will trade you my time, my energy, my money, whatever it is. That's how it works, okay? And that's a good thing, okay? Mary Jo says, Papa B, be reals. Mm-hmm. Yep. Gonna use that as a testimonial, by the way. Just kidding. Okay, so we're going to figure out, I'm going to give you a formula right now. And I'm going to go into that formula and show you in the calculator how it works. So we got a veteran freelancer is nudging me, says Mike, to get my prices on paper. She suggested that I start using a tool like Hours Tracker to get an idea how much time jobs are taking me. Yes, so you need to know how much time your jobs take you. And as you get experience, you start to know what that number is. But yes, you should be knowing how much time am I spending on this thing. Use Rescue Time, rescuetime.com. bradhussey.ca/rescuetime. If you want to use my affiliate link, it's free. If you sign up for the paid version, you never will have to, by the way. I do, but you don't have to. Then I'll get a commission. It's how affiliate links work. You get it. It'll track automatically what you do on your computer. Okay. Everything. And then you can know, this is how many hours I spend on design, this is how many hours I spend doing admin work, this is how many hours I spend on YouTube, so on and so forth. Okay. Kanban or Kanban, however you want to pronounce that, to track time, says Monique. Totally great technique for tracking time and knowing how long something takes. Okay, so let's jump in here. I'm going to give you the formula. This is the hourly rate formula. The basic sort. This is something you could find online. I kind of tweaked it to custom. I think this is a better, more accurate formula, but it's a surface level formula. There's a lot that goes into this. So this formula looks like this. You take your revenue goal plus your expenses. So you add those together. You multiply it by your desired profit margin. A lot of freelancers think that, well, why would I have a profit margin? I'm getting paid $50 an hour. Like, okay, no. That's how much it costs you to do something. So if it costs you an hour, if it's 1 hour to do a task and your rate is $50 an hour, you're just covering your cost to provide the service. You actually have given no room for profit. Does that make sense? Because you are going to have expenses and such that you're going to have to take care of, but it costs somebody $50 to give them an hour. You're giving yourself no room for contingency, profit, growth, wiggle room, flexibility. You're just saying, all right, I'll give you my time for $50. That's your base rate. Okay. So you take your revenue goal plus your expenses, you multiply it by your profit margin. 10, 20%. It's up to you. You can go higher if you want more contingency and flexibility, but a good rule of thumb, 10, 20%, somewhere around there. Divide it by your billable hours. So the billable hours that you have in the year, finding out what those billable hours is also a science. So 2,080 hours, working hours in the year if you go 8 hours a day. Nobody does that if you're a normal person and want flexibility. So what you want is to find out, okay, what are your holidays? What are your days off? How many weeks vacation do you want? We get into this business, we can have flexibility. I don't want 2 weeks vacation I didn't retire from full normal employment so I can have 2 weeks vacation and 2 sick days. No thanks. I want the holidays off. I want days off to go to my children's school and be with them and take them to school. I want to have long weekends every now and then. I want to have a few vacations in the year, whether they're just small little road trip, camping trips, or big trips out to Hawaii or something like that. I want to have the flexibility. So that's time I'm not working. So you add all this up, you find out how many hours that are coming out of the year. Now you're down to 1,300, 1,600 hours, working hours. Okay, but wait, there's more. We're going to eat into that even more. Are you billing 8 hours a day for that many weeks? Nope. You're maybe billing 4, 5, 6 of those hours. Okay. Which means now we're down to 1,200, 1,300 working hours. Now you take that, you take your revenue goal plus expenses multiplied by the profit margin divided by the billable hours. There's your hourly rate. Okay. Now let's go into my other screen here. And I'm going to show you what that looks like, okay? Here's my hourly rate calculator that I'm going to give you for free. It's part of the launch course, and it's going to be fleshed out and made even better, but this is what goes into hourly rates, okay? And you can download it in the description of this video. Also, Alea will link it up. She'll find the link, okay? So here we go. Let's do this, okay? We're going to play with an average, above average scenario here. And we're going to, in these green boxes, we're going to add some numbers and we're going to play. Okay. Some fun. Personal salary. This is how much you want to pay yourself, how much you want to quite literally be your income. Okay. So your annual income requirements, this is the first part of the formula. So we're going to say personal salary. Let's change it up and let's go, I don't know. Let's do something like 75,000. Okay. Now retirement and investment savings. This is annually per year. So let's say, I don't know, you want to put away $1,000 a month. That's $12,000. Okay. Now I know it's the generous savings, but if you're prioritizing, then you can fast track your retirement savings. And miscellaneous savings and investments, whatever that wants to be. I'm just giving you some flex. Let's just say $1,000. Maybe you're doing something, you have different investment vehicles or whatever. Okay. So there we go. So now your annual income requirement is actually 88,000. That's your annual income requirement based on your savings and your salary. Okay. Now we need to find out what your cost of business is, your annual cost of business. So let's go in here. Office rent, co-working space. Let's say that you're renting a co-working space, you have a membership, or you rent an office or something like that. You rented a bigger house that had an extra room for an office. This is where this goes. Okay. So let's, I don't know, let's put in $800. Again, these are fictional numbers, but this is where you can use the tool to find it out. So fine, internet. For me, I'm paying way too much because that's how it works up here. So that's literally my number for my just having an internet per year. Mobile phone and data, I'm going with my numbers here, folks, okay? For this, I'm paying, again, way too much for my phone, the data plan, okay? So there's my data plan. Accountant, you guys should have an accountant. Once we get you in launch and you start growing, you shouldn't be doing your taxes and accounting. You should be having somebody do it for you. There's your first team member, okay? You're just paying them on a contract project basis to handle important things like taxes, okay? So I'm going to say, because I have a corporation and business taxes and personal taxes, it's going to be a higher fee. But let's say for you, it's $500 in a year. Play with the numbers, okay, folks? Legal fees. This is if you're incorporated and things like that, if you're LLC partnerships, those cost more money. Let's say your legal fees, you're just starting out. You don't have any legal fees. Boom. Actually, let's change that. And let's say that you actually have, like, you signed up for like LegalZoom.com or something, and you have a membership of $50 a year or something. Just kind of making that up there. Marketing, promotion and advertising. Let's say you dedicate $200 a month to that. So we got what, $2,400 a year in promotion and advertising. Business insurance for protection. This is, annual. So let's just say $1,500. Lots of different insurances that you could do. Flex and contingency. Okay. This is different from profit margins. This is just more so unpaid invoices, unforeseen costs, repairs, your computer breaks, your desk falls down. I have a stand-up desk, a sit-stand desk that's adjustable, like this. See that? Isn't that cool? The motor broke on it, so I had to tell IKEA to send me a new one, and that costs money, right? So flex and contingency. Let's just give yourself $1,000. Okay. So now, folks, we're getting into business software. That's just essentials. Ooh, it costs money to run a business. Okay. Web hosting, I don't know, $150. How much does web hosting cost, folks? Put your number in. Accounting and invoicing software. So for me, I have a little deal with my accountant. She just takes it into her annual fee, but I don't know, could be like $200 a year, maybe less. Let's say $20 times. So yeah, I'm going to say $200 a year. Project management, so like Basecamp or something like that. If you're at like $50 a month times 12, that's $600. My goodness gracious. Or Trello, like Trello Gold or Trello. Let's say you're using Trello free. In Freelancing Freedom Launch, we talk about all the free tools that you can use so you don't have to pay lots of money until you're ready to. So let's just say $0, okay? You joined Launch and you went, you know what? Thanks, Brad, for saving me lots of money. Join Launch, freelancingfreedom.com/launch. Okay, now, subscriptions and memberships. I don't know. Let's just say you got like Spotify and things like that, and you're charging it to your business account because you can. $100. Making these numbers up right now. Okay. For me, email marketing costs a lot of money. The more that you grow your list, the more that you have to pay, and it is painful. But it's a lifeblood of your business if you have lots of leads coming. Okay, don't complain. Let's just say that you have like $50 a month. Let's say that your email marketing CRM costs you $600 a year. Productivity tools, Trello, Basecamp, Rescue Time, things like that. Let's just go for $120 a year. Miscellaneous software. If I missed something, okay. Now we're talking business hardware and tools. Computer every 3 years. So I said 3 years because replace a computer every 3 years, 4 years, whatever. I said 3 years, okay? So annually what that turns out to be. If you spend $2,000 on a computer divided by 3, that's what, 667, or like a cheaper laptop, or if you got like a really bad non-Mac computer. I see you guys razzing me for using my Mac. Since when was Mac not cool, guys? Mac is the coolest, okay? It's got iMovie. And it also is a great computer. So has never given me problems. Anyway, that's another chat for another day. So let's say $500 a year is your cost for replacing your computer every 3 years or so. Okay. Office supplies, miscellaneous, pens, things, papers, notebooks, stationery, stamps, envelopes, and this is such. Okay. Healthcare and taxes. So in the States, you got like your small business tax rate. This is approximate. This, in Canada and the United States, you've got like a, scalable. It's like, it depends on which tax rate you're in. And if you make this much, you're at this tax rate, and then this one, then you add a little bit more. So it's a complicated number, but just like give yourself an average just to give some padding. A lot of people don't take into account that they're going to have to shell out a whole crap load of money come tax time. So give yourself some padding for that. Okay. So I just put 15% there. You could put 20, you could put 10. Maybe if you're in like a really super socialist country, put like 98%, or like if you're in like a really opposite, put like something really low. I don't know. This is your place to put that number. Okay. Let's see. Health insurance and expenses. So, if you have health insurance, if you are paying for, out of pocket for the dentist, take that into consideration. If you're giving yourself $500 a month for that, $200 a month, or whatever your insurance is, put this in. So I just put that for an annual expense. Okay. So now look at this. This is your required annual revenue. So your goal of like 75,000, actually turned into 88,000 and actually turned into 107,000. Okay. So now we've got our required annual business revenue. This is how much that you'd like for your business to earn in order for you to make your salary. Okay. Now, Mary Jo, if only it was 5K. Yeah. Put your own number in there. Now we have to figure out our annual working hours. So available work hours in the year is 2080. If you're working 8 hours a day, if you're crazy, you can change that number, but I suggest that you don't. It's up to you. It's up to you. Weeks of vacation. Let's say you want to give yourself 4 weeks of vacation in the year. How many holidays? So stat holidays, US holidays, Canada, whatever, religious holidays, any of the things that you want to take off, put it right there. Could be 5, could be 2, could be 12. I don't know, whatever you want. Sick days. You get sick a lot? Put 15 days. You don't get sick very much? You're like super healthy? Put 3, whatever you want. I'm going to put 8. Okay. Miscellaneous days off. I don't know. A couple days you're just like, I'm not working today. Papa B ain't showing up to work today. Okie dokie. 3, 2. Okay. Okay. Percent spent on non-billable work. So you can change this number. I'm thinking it's about 25%. Could be 10%. If you're like, you're nonstop billing hours all day long, you change that. If you're like a lawyer, and you're just like, you show up and you're like, I'm on billable time, baby. Then you put 0. Okay. But if you're, or like 1, but if you're like normal people, 25%. Okay. So this is your non-billable work hours out of that available time hours off. Here's your actual billable hours in the year estimated. Okay. Mary Jo. Oh, you retracted your message. You changed your mind. Here we go. So folks, here's our number. Okay. Break-even rate. So I give you a range, okay? I don't want to just give you a number. It's a range. So your break-even rate is $85 an hour. If any of you want to go into the math, there's the formula right there of where I got to that number. It's not a perfect science, but it's a good starting place, okay? Better than most of us at how we calculate our rates, which is just guessing. So we take all this into consideration and we come up with our break-even rate, $85 an hour, to get you the minimum of what you're looking for here. Okay. Not much profit going on here. You're kind of going low. Maybe you want to give like an introductory rate or you want to give a discount. This is the bottom range. Okay. Recommended rate, $95 an hour. Okay. That's what I'm saying based on this. That's what you should be charging if this is your billable hours and how much you're working and all these factors. High profit rate, 105. So there we go. Between $85 and $105 an hour is what you should be looking at based on this. But it really depends. What if your personal salary, watch this, this is where it's fun, is going to be 120,000. Now look how the rates change. Now you're looking at 120 to 150, landing somewhere at 135. Okay. What if you, what if it costs you a lot for health insurance? Like, I don't know, $14,000. Okay. So now we're looking at, 125 to 160. What if you got an office that's $1,800 a month? Okay. Things are going to change. Looks like that number didn't change too much, if at all. What if you're hustling hard and most of your hours are spent on billable hours? So now you don't have to charge as much money. Okay. So this is where your hourly rate comes in. Okay. Now I've got more. Don't you worry. Let's jump back to our other screen, and I'm going to show you the next part of our little workshop. Okay. So that's our hourly rate. How does that sound? Okay. That's the math that goes into your hourly rate. That's how you know what I like to call your base rate. Okay. So now let's jump into, that's not necessarily me saying you should just charge hourly. This is me saying you should know what you should be charging as a base rate, something to anchor it on, because every project pricing model that comes after that, your base rate that we just figured out comes into play. Here's how. Okay. The fixed rate. Here's another pricing model. A lot of people charge per project. It's also known as pricing per project, the flat fee, fixed rate, fixed fee, lots of different phrases, lots of different names for the same thing. Okay. But what this is basically you charge based on the project and the variables that come with the project. And it depends, because you can't just go off of hourly, and sometimes it's just easier to give them a customized flat fee. Now, a lot of freelancers at the beginning will take a new project, they'll analyze something and guess how many hours it's going to take them, and then they'll say, okay, 100 hours, it's going to cost this much based on my hourly rate. But now what you're doing is you're giving your client line items, and they can go through and go, I want to save $100, so I don't need hosting, whatever hosting's called. That sounds stupid. No hosting for me. I'm going to see, I don't like that little design tweaks. Yeah, I'm going to just take design tweaks out, save me $80 there. Revisions, I'm perfect. I don't need revisions. Okay. So I'm going to take that out. Now they're just hacking away at your price. Okay. And we don't want that. This is why I like the fixed rate, because you give them a flat fee. They say, here's my project. That's what I need. And you, behind the scenes, with your base rate, go, okay, how long is it going to take me? How long is this going to require of my time? Okay, here's some ideas that I should be taking into consideration, and then give them a flat fee. It's going to be $5,000. And then they don't get to look at line items and just hack away your price. Okay. So I'm going to go into that. Joel. Hey, Joel, good to see you here, buddy. Pricing calculator link doesn't seem to be working. Uh-oh. Don't want that. Nuh-uh. Let me just see. I want to make sure that pricing calculator. Oh, whoopsie daisies. I'm going to fix that. I'm going to fix that link there, Joel. It is just little typo. Okay, in the description, that should be good now, Joel. Try that out now, okay? Just want to make sure I'm still alive here too. Sorry, I got sidetracked. Joel, you sidetracked me, man. Okay. We're good. Okie dokie. There we go. So the link's fixed. I have another link coming up too in the end of this workshop, just so you don't miss out on it. But I fixed it. The link should be there. Anyone who tried it, the link didn't work, it's there now. Okay. Back to the workshop. Okay. The fixed rate. Why is it good? Why is it bad? Okay. It's good because you're rewarded for efficiency and speed. So if you think it's going to take you 10 hours, then you can bank on it being 10 hours. But what if you finish it in 5 hours? You and your client are rewarded for efficiency and speed. So this is good. Think about this. This is why it's good. If you think, okay, it's going to take me 10 hours, or let's say 1 week of my time, a block off a week, then the client will go, okay, I can expect it in a week, I guess, and here's your $1,000. Okay, let's just say that. Now, what if you finish it in 2 days? The client still pays $1,000, but they're happy with that because they didn't have to wait a week. They waited 48 hours. So they win. because you are good at what you do. They'll pay for it. They get the end result, okay? And you're rewarded because instead of taking a week to do $1,000 of work, it took you 48 hours. That means that your value, that the rate actually was much higher, okay? Now, versus hourly rate, if you finish a project really fast, like if you say it's going to take me 10 hours, hey, Bob, it's going to take me 10 hours, and it takes you 2 hours and your hourly rate's like $100, okay? You just literally shot yourself in the foot and made way less money. Your client's happy because it was fast and cheap. But then now you're setting yourself as a commodity. They want stuff fast and cheap? Nope. Okay? Fixed rate solves that problem. So that's why it's good. Predictable project price. The client's happy because you can, they know what they're getting. They know what they're going to pay. You know that you're going to get paid X for the deliverable. You get paid for the deliverable, not the time. Okay? And increased earning potential. So now, because you're not tied to that hours in the day anymore, if you get like 3 projects that you can complete in a week and you charge a flat fee of $2,000 per project, that's $6,000 you just made in a week. Okay. Why is it bad? Scope creep loves fixed fees because now your client goes, well, I'm giving you $1,000. I've got your time and your attention. Here's my laundry list of things I also want you to throw in there because you can just do that, right? It's really easy for you to just add this in now that I've got your attention, right? So scope creep can really, really eat into this if you're not careful about contracting, setting boundaries, and defining your scope. All things we talk about in the launch course. And you will, I guarantee you, underestimate your time and your effort. I guarantee you will underestimate it because you're afraid, because you don't know, because it's you're unsure about what it will actually take. The more experience you get with this, the better you will be at accurately pricing it. But those are some reasons why it's bad. So let's real world application. Okay. Your rate depends on the same factors as your hourly rate, plus the type of the solution, the going rate, level of urgency, pain, the value you're providing, and return on investment. All factors you might want to include. So what do you charge? It depends. Let's figure it out for real in the real world. Flipping my screen here, back to the calculator. Not only do you get hourly rate calculator, you get the fixed rate calculator. Watch what is so cool about this. It already knows your break-even, recommended, and high profit rate based on what you put in here. This is why everything hinges upon your base rate. Not necessarily because you're going to be charging hourly all the time, but you need to know what's my time and energy worth? What goes into this? What do I need to take into consideration? So now I'm using these as my guide to know what I should be charging. So factors that affect pricing. This is where the fixed fee comes in. These are the factors you want to consider. So the typical price of a similar product or service. So right now I have this on a scale from 0 to 10. And this changes what the markup percentage would be to consider. Okay, so let's say typical price for a similar product and service. So this is where you can go off of the going rate. If it's usually a really expensive service or product, okay, we're at 9, let's say 9. So boom, you can take that into consideration. Size of the client. Are they like your buddy? Okay, 0. Okay. Or maybe they're like a really high profile corporate client who works with, huge clients, and if you said that your project was going to be $1,000, they would laugh you out of the room because they knew you weren't qualified enough. So you need to be charging higher rates, commanding higher rates because you're a premium consultant. So let's say the size of your client is like a 7. The consultant's level of expertise and experience, that's you. So are you like a newbie? Okay, 0. Or are you like boss lady, you got this dialed in? 10. So let's say the consultant's level of expertise and experience within the given field and niche. I'm going with, let's go with 8. Okay. The client's level of pain and urgency. Are they like, I'd like a really pretty site. It's just, kind of what the cool kids are doing nowadays. All right. Not a lot of urgency or pain going on there. Probably a 1 or a 0. But if they're like, my website was hacked, or, I'm getting, staff members quitting left, right, and center because of something that's going on internally, and I need someone to investigate. I need some human resources expertise, or, I'm a financial planner and I'm getting older and I need to be able to create an investment strategy that's going to protect me as I get into my golden years. All right. Level of pain, high, right? Urgency, high. So we're going 9 here. This is a painful one, folks. Okay. How beneficial to you? Is this a project that you're going to hate? That's a 0. You don't like it. It's not beneficial. It has no return for you. It's just like a throwaway project. Okay. Keep that in mind. Okay. So, or is it something that's really beneficial for you? Then maybe we're looking for 6. It's not life-changing, but it's nice. Was it a referral? Why do I add this? Because if it's a referral, there's a level of trust. They're a new client. They came from somebody, so they come in with a level of trust. So you can charge a bit more because their buddy said, I trust Mary Jo. She's amazing, does great work. Okay, there's value in that. So you're allowed to give a little bit more buffer in that price because there's a trust factor. And you want to slowly start increasing your rates as you get more clients, so that you can go into a new premium positioning. So was it a referral? 0 is no, 5 is yes. I did that because I use calculations based on numbers. So I'm going to say, was it a referral? It wasn't a referral. It was just like an organic thing or something I did myself. Okay. So 0. So the market percentage, 30%. The number's there based on these numbers here. And, okay. So now project specific expenses. So these are expenses based on your fixed fee. Did you hire a staff team or virtual assistant? How much does it cost you for that project? So maybe you have a VA and a web developer and a designer on the team, and it's going to cost you like $1,800 to pay them for their contribution. All right. You got to take that into consideration. Software licenses, materials. Maybe you upgraded your project management. Maybe you bought a tool or something to help you finish the project, and it cost you $75. There we go. Travel expenses. You met with them a few times. You took them out for lunch and you paid, $45. There we go. Total project expenses plus the markup and your estimated time to complete it based on your base rate, break even, recommended, and high profit. All right, folks, look at this. Your break even fixed fee for that project is $16,200, or recommended rate $18,900, or high profit rate $23,000. And you can move those numbers around. Again, these aren't gospel to just follow hard and fast. It's a guideline, but it's a scientific guideline. Okay. Terrell says, thanks, Brad. I'm going to position myself as the ugly website guy. Okay. So let's jump back into our workshop here, and we're going to round it off, round off the hour and round off the workshop with our last little bit here. So that's the formula for the fixed rate, base rate times time to complete, multiply it by the markup factors and the project expenses. There's your fixed rate. All right. Okay. So now we're going to jump into the final most commonly used pricing model. Again, there's a lot more in terms of pricing models that we talk about in the launch course at freelancingfreedom.com/launch. But I'm giving you the 3 most common that you need to dial in first before we get fancy. Value-based fee. Why is it good? Well, the value-based fee, let's talk about what it is. It's charging based on the value you provide. So you're no longer trading your time for money. And you're no longer just charging a flat fee based on a bunch of factors and variables and components. You're charging based on how valuable it is for the client. If it's not valuable, then you can't charge very much. You're going to have to revert to one of the previous pricing models. But if it's very valuable, then you get to price based on the value that the client gets out of it. Okay, so why is it good? You can command really high rates. You can position yourself as an investment versus an expense. In fact, you cannot charge value-based if you can't get a return or define clear value for the client. How much time are they saving? How much money are they saving or growing? How much pain is being relieved? Stress, lots of factors for what value is. Okay. So you're an investment. Okay. Not an expense. The client will pay higher rates for higher ROI. So if I can get a higher return on investment, I'll pay a high rate. That's how it works. And huge earning potential. So sky's the limit here. If you get a big project that has high value potential, that's a huge earning potential, has nothing to do with your time or your availability. Now, why is it bad? Because beginners cannot do this. You can't use this as a beginner because you're not proven, you don't have experience, you have no idea what you're doing, you're just guessing, and you're going to make yourself look like a fool really fast. This is an advanced tactic that you can't really use until you're at that level yet, which I want to get you there in the launch course. Some projects don't apply. You can't use value-based pricing for certain projects. It's just, some just don't apply. And how do you measure ROI? What is the return on investment? What is the value? Is it time? Is it energy? Is it stress? Is it money? Is it clients? Is it, commissions? What is it? It can be a hairy number, or can be a hairy, situation to get yourself in. You don't know what the value is, and you can overpromise and underdeliver, which will make you look bad. So you overpromise and you underdeliver. Now you lose. You lost trust, you lost respect, and you damaged your reputation. So very, very tricky scenario to be in. So real world application, it depends on the same as the hourly rate and fixed fee. So you hinge it upon those, but primarily it's based on the return on investment that you can provide your client. Can you generate $20,000 in annual sales for your client? Charge accordingly. Can you save them 100 hours per year in project management, in handling staff, in hiring team members? Can you increase their return on investment in their investment portfolio by 1%? Can you eliminate management expense ratios by a couple base points? These are all factors that you could base your charging on. Okay. What do you charge? It depends. Let's figure it out for real. Okay. Let's jump over to my other screen here, folks. Round off this hour. Value-based rate. Okay. So we got our base rate. It's smart based on our previous factors that affect pricing. So this is project, ranking it based on the project. So typical price, size of client, consultants level. So the same thing we did before. Let's say the typical price for this is like really high. The size of client is probably more in the higher range. Your level of experience and expertise, new territory for you. So it's a 5. The level of pain and urgency, it's unfortunately low, but it's still important. And the benefit for you is very high. Was it a referral? Absolutely. So now we're looking at a markup of like 29% roughly. Staff team virtual assistant, it's going to cost you more, let's just say, for the project. You got a license that you paid for, and there were no travel expenses. They were a virtual client. So there's your project expenses plus your markup and your estimated time to complete. Oh, we got to factor this in. It's going to take you 300 hours. It's a big, big project. Okay. The value and ROI for the client. So this is where you need to do some work and try and figure out what is the value that you're going to return, the monetary value return. So if it's time, how much time are you spending? How much time is their time worth? How can you tie that into a monetary value that you're providing by time saved, time gained? Maybe they actually can make sales. You sell more of their products or their services or their courses or their contracts online or in person based on your input. This is where you find out. Let's say that in 12 months, you can roughly estimate or dial in that you're going to make them $3,500 in addition to what they paid. So your work directly will contribute to a bottom, like a return of $3,500. So now we're looking at this break-even rate, 48.8, 50,700 for recommended, 52.6 for the high profit. Again, these are just guidelines, not gospel, but you can use them to kind of figure out where you should be focusing. Okay. Now, Mary Jo says, how do you work towards these new numbers? Experience, time, having the right direction, number of clients. Once you start getting into the territory of these types of value-based clients, a lot of factors that will get you there. It's something that, Mary Jo, we're going to be discovering in the launch course. And then as we transition ourselves into the systemized course. So you can get there. Value-based rates are not necessarily the end goal. It's just a pricing model for certain types of projects. I think fixed rates are great places to kind of just base things off of, because you can still incorporate an element of value-based pricing in there, but it's not based only on value-based pricing. Now I want to show you one more just as a little bonus. I know that we're closing up on the hour and I want to get going and let you guys go, but there's a weekly rate. This is another rate that I'm adding into the calculator, and I'm going to add a couple more in here and make it smart as we go along. But the weekly rate is another option. It's not in my little workshop spreadsheet that I just put, or PDF that I put up on the screen. But again, it's based on the weekly rate. So you can charge weekly for working on a project versus, fixed fee, value-based, hourly. It's if you want my time, I book off in blocks of weeks. So, and it's kind of like hourly rate on steroids, the big brother of the hourly rate. So if they say, this is my project, you go, I think 4 weeks. We might be able to get it done in 3 weeks, but if you drag your feet and kick your heels and dig your heels in and whatever, it's going to probably take 6 or 7 weeks. And my rate per week, let's find out. So here we go. Let's leave these factors here so we can kind of zip through it. Weekly team. So this is weekly project expenses now, not monthly or yearly, weekly, because you're charging per week now. So let's say it comes out to your expenses per week are like, this, $140 per week for you to be working on the project. The value and ROI, you can incorporate this if you want. You can say 0 if you don't know, or you can quite literally say, the 12-month value ROI is probably $1,500. Take that into account. Hours dedicated to project per week. So this is how much you're going to be billing per week, like how much you're going to dedicate your time, your team, your energy. Let's say 20 hours per week. So you still have 20 hours for other stuff. There we go. There's your weekly break even. There's your weekly recommended, and there's your weekly high profit. And now your client knows what they're charging per week. And if they want to speed things up and get it done in 2 weeks, no problem. You made $3,200 per week and you're free to go work with other clients now. If they drag their feet and it takes extra time, then you get paid what your rate is. Okay. So there's the calculator, folks. Grab that calculator. Let me give you the link there, so that you know exactly how to get it. Oh, and there's the value-based formula right there. But we just went through it in the calculator. And try it for yourself. Download the pricing calculator, bit.ly/price tool, or in the link description below. If you want to just cut to the chase and have just get right to it, join the launch course at freelancingfreedom.com/launch. Until tomorrow, we've got a 25% off discount as an early bird promotion. We won't be offering that into the future because, again, regarding pricing, I don't think discounting is the best strategy. Because this is an early bird, incentive for a new launch, a new product, so to speak, I'm okay giving that initial discount. But moving forward, I won't be discounting or doing things like that. It's going to be the price right now. You get 25% off. It's a very reasonable price based on the value you get. People who are in the course attending the live chat office hours right now can probably attest to that already. The value they've received just in the first couple modules has probably been worth the price they paid. I'm not saying that to be cocky. I'm just saying that based on the years of time and effort and energy and love and stress and dedication I put into this program and into my students. James right there says the tool is worth the course price alone, right there. And I want to be generous with what I'm giving you, with my time, my energy, my tools, my expertise, my experience, my failings and my wins. And I want to share that with you. So if you want to join the launch course, it's open right now. And we're going to be giving you the 25% off discount. It's freelancingfreedom.com/launch. If you are starting out, wanting to grow your business, you need some help and you need some guidance, and you have no idea what it is that you want to, where to go, what to charge, how to manage projects. If you're in that early stage, or if you're starting to want to start to go more into the full-time range, launch is for you. And I'm personally inviting you right now to join it. Okay, I'm going to see here. Unfortunately, I am out of time to answer questions, and there were a couple questions here. We do have them marked down, so I will answer them at the very least next week, or I might try and get in touch and answer those questions, reach out. But I'm sorry, Kevin, Jason, and Kenny, you had a couple questions there, just because we're out of time, and I don't want to eat into everybody's. I want to be respectful of your time. Also, supper time for Brad. Okay, I gotta go be a dad right now, and I'm very excited and anxious to do that. So, thank you for your time. I hope this was valuable. A valuable hour and 4 minutes for you. Download the tool. It's yours for free. No questions asked. When you download the tool, I'm going to ask for your email, and then it's going to take you to directly to the calculator. It's yours for free. Use it, play with it, have fun with it, and raise your rates, increase your rates. Know what you're worth. But then I'm going to send you a follow-up email to give you a demo of the launch course if you're still skeptical or uncertain, and a few emails after that to let you know about launch, to give you a couple opportunities to join up. I would love to have you there if it's a right fit for you. If it's not, send me an email and we'll get back to you. We'll help you out to help you determine if it is the right choice for you or not. So folks, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. You guys are awesome. God bless you. Have an amazing weekend, and bye for now.